let's start off with ASAP Rocky at long last ASAP. The album review. When did this album come out? This album came out
It's
what
2015. I don't know what month.
2015. So this is like what the 10 year
May 26th.
anniversary.
May 26th,
Mm-hmm. May 20.
2015.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow
And
will
then
be the year, B.
yeah. So maybe we need to
Mhm.
release that tomorrow. But going off this project, I have not listened to this project in years. I bought this
Mhm.
album on vinyl. I listened to it when it first came out because I'm a huge ASAP Rocky fan, especially with projects like Live Love ASAP, Long Live ASAP, and this project right here. To me, this feels like obviously this is his best project in his discography. To me, I think most people think that this is his best project as well, with Live Love ASAP being there as well. To me, this feels like the perfect successor to Live Love ASAP itself. Especially when we listen to a project like this, we go back to the sound that he had on Live Love ASAP. And then we also think about another album that we're reviewing today, 3 6 Mafia's Mystic Styles. The way that ASAP Rocky incorporates all these sounds with that cloudy atmospheric production, his rapping ability on here, which he to me he really stepped it up. He was in different pockets, different
Mhm.
flows, and to me he was rapping on here. A lot of this album felt very cohesive sonically, sound wise. I really like where ASAP Rocky was going. I felt like he dug a bit deeper, especially with refining and having higher quality in this more dreamy, cloudy, somewhat
Mhm.
psychedelic at points.
Psychedelic. Yeah.
Yeah, production as well. I thoroughly enjoyed this project. I remember when the singles for this came out, I was so hyped for this project when it was going to come out. And going to some of the singles like M's, Electric Body, Lord Pretty Flacco, Jody Part 2 or 2, whatever, LSD. I remember the song LSD first coming out. I'm like, this is super trippy. This is bringing me
Mhm.
back to Live Love ASAP days right here. But I will say this, B, this is the one project in discography that I go back to the least. I don't know why. But going
Mhm.
back to this project, I'm like, why was I not going back to this more? This project is so good. I mean, some of the features he has on here, the way that he actually starts the project off itself, there's a good amount of features from a guy named Joe Fox, who I'm not too familiar with, I will admit. But having a legendary track with some of the Southern pioneers, Juicy J and UGK, some styles that you actually took inspiration from, used
Mhm.
them as your own, and having them all on one track itself was also like a really great like paying homage to track as well. West Side Highway with James Fauntleroy. James Fauntleroy, when it comes to this cloudy atmospheric like production, he's always just so perfect on this production right here for me as well. Lil Wayne M's, I'm not gonna lie, I do like the version of M's without Lil Wayne personally,
Mhm.
me. Uh, but yeah, every day back home, especially when he's like, "Oh, pretty Flacco singing," and then most Def comes and killing it. To
Mhm.
me, this felt more like the traditional like New York production that we would get from back then. So hearing Rocky go over some more traditional New York production or East Coast production, that felt really great as well. Overall, for me, just summing up my quick thoughts before we really have a conversation going to your thoughts. I thoroughly enjoyed this project. When I first listened to this for the review, I didn't look at the track list because I just like, okay, I gotta go through this as an
Mhm.
experience. And to me, this album is one of those albums that when you listen to it, it flows. It's like an experience where you're actually going through this the whole track list and things like that. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoy it. To me, this is ASAP Rocky's best project. Just summing up my thoughts really quick.
Mhm.
B, go ahead.
B. It was so crazy because another thing about this album is I don't go back to it as much either. I barely go to any ASAP Rocky like that. But this is my favorite ASAP Rocky project. But I
Hmm.
haven't listened to this in a long time. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't like this project as much as I used to. I don't know if it's because
What?
I don't think it's because I got older or what, but this shit was boring.
Mm.
It was boring, especially that second half. Like Joe Fox, I know the Joe Fox story. You're not familiar with it, but Joe Fox was a singer that ASAP Rocky discovered him handing out mixtapes on London streets, and he actually took him under his wing and had him around him. Like if you look at all the interviews or anything ASAP Rocky was doing around that time, you'll see a light skinned kid with a little afro, guy from London had a little accent with Joe with ASAP all everywhere. So that's why he's all over this album because ASAP took him under his wing. But let's get to this music. The standout tracks, I still love. I still love Canal Street. I still love LSD. I still love Excuse Me. Lord Pretty Flacco, Max B. I just hate Joe Fox on that. Wavy Bone. I still think the beat is good. I never really cared for the rapping on that. It just never felt right with me. Um, but M's is still okay. But like B, when you get in the second half of this album, Far Side is still good. I still like ASAP Rocky on Far Side. Jukebox Joint as well. Top to me is best. But when this album in the second half to me goes really boring. And I know it gets into that psychedelic path with the production, and it kind of bores me. And ASAP as a rapper is not bringing me in with his charisma on some of these later tracks. So I was like, dang. Dreams Interlude I still okay with, but it's like I listen to it like it felt like a drag. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this as much as I used to. So I think
Hmm.
subconsciously I already knew I didn't really care for this as a like because I never go back to it. Like I
Hmm.
don't go back to it. So I'm like, dang, I really don't want to dislike this, but I don't like it as much as I used to. It's still a
Hmm.
good album, probably still his
Hmm.
best work because I know he still want to have his cohesiveness, especially with the psychedelic sound. But if you actually listen to this as a whole, like to me, Joe Fox, I know he wanted to like show this guy love and put him all over his album, but I did not like him on this album. I don't know how you felt about him on this album, but I did not like him on this album. I never really cared for him on this album. And to do I love Baby I Wonder
Hmm.
by Max B. It's like one of my favorite Max B tracks. And I hate him. I wonder. What'd he say? Wonder, hey, I'm my bed. And then it up.
You talking
Then I
about the
fuck
beginning
it
of the song?
up. He did that in the end too. He had his own little
Mm.
solo. I'm like, yo, get the hell out of here. Jukebox joint, jukebox joint. I like when Kanye get at the end, you know what I'm saying? I still love when that beat kind of no power to you, more power to you. Alone.
Hmm.
He still do his thing. But I thought I still love this album, but when my 21-year-old self loved this project, but me at 31 B, I don't know, man. I start like ASAP not bringing me in on some of these beats at the tail end. Like it's just
Mm.
boring. It's getting boring to me. So I think that could be. Maybe it's not boring to you, but maybe that could probably be a reason why you don't go back to it. Because to me, this album to me is not something me personally that you could just kind of listen to and listen to. Back then I loved it, but it wasn't something I kept on repeat. I kind of kept
Hmm.
like those high, more energy tracks on repeat for me.
Hmm.
Like I play Lord Pretty Flocko Shorty strip up in, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I played Excuse Me, that beat. You know how that beat goes. Like I played those a good amount back in those in the 10 years ago. But right now, B, good album, but revisiting it, ugh,
Mm.
kind of a little boring.
So for me, the same sentiments you have, and I know this is about to be blasphemous when you say, that's the same sentiments I somewhat have for Live Love ASAP itself.
Hmm.
Literally exactly what you're saying is how I used to feel about Live Love ASAP in terms of returning
Hmm.
to it as a project. I got to return back to it to see how I feel about it now. But when it comes to Live Love ASAP, I always thought like the first five songs, first 5 to 6 songs, like up to Brand New Guy, or like
Hmm.
the song maybe after that, Purple Swag Part 2 or whatever. I always thought like those first tracks 1 through 6, I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. Because everything after it, it got into that more spacey, atmospheric,
Hmm.
cloudy like
Clams
production
Casino
where it wasn't,
production.
yeah, where it wasn't as hype as it was in the in the first like 6 tracks of the actual album itself, the first third, I think, or the mixtape, I mean. This is the exact same thoughts that I had. But to me, going back to something like this to me feels like the spiritual successor to what he was doing on Live Love ASAP itself. Now his actual debut album, Long Live ASAP, I felt like it had a mixture of this, a mixture of Live Love ASAP, but it also still wanted to get that commercial mainstream appealing sound where it was a lot more upbeat for ASAP
Hmm.
Rocky itself. Now, I love that project. When it comes to ASAP Rocky's discography, Long Live is the album that I go back to, or the project that I go back to the most, because as a whole, because I love that project. I remember when that project came out. But going to this, to me, this feels like the most cohesive body of work. What he intentionally really wanted it to sound like without any interference from a label, like making him do certain things. Now, obviously, if you don't like the cloudy, atmospheric type production that he goes over and the more laid back rapping style, but also to me, he has better rapping on this project itself. If you, I can understand someone not liking this. if you're an ASAP Rocky fan, even though I know you're a fan as well,
Hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed this project. Songs like Lord Pretty Flacco Jody help break up the, maybe as you would call it, monotonous tone of like how it's just like kind of like cloudy and it's like
Hmm.
okay, it's just atmospheric. But then you get a project, I mean a song like Lord Pretty Flacco Jody 2 where it's like super hype. Then you get Electro Bike, which is a bit more fast paced compared to a lot of the songs before then. Jukebox Joint, to me this is like that downfall of Kanye era where this is like Life of Pablo Kanye, like
Hmm.
post My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So Kanye's just doing his thing where he's like, "Oh, they hate me because I'm black." I'm just like,
Hmm.
and Kanye, and there's more of that abrasive Kanye, which I don't really like abrasive Kanye like
I
that.
love
And
that
then I
beat.
mean, I do too.
Hmm.
I don't like abrasive Kanye like that, where it's like, "Oh, what you're saying to me is like straight in my face," and it's like it's very simple, and I'm like, there's no finesse with what you're saying to me, Kanye. Joe Fox to me didn't bother me. Now, is Max Beat a song that had the beat change in the middle of it and he just started flowing and spazzing ASAP Rocky? I forget which song it was. It could have been Max Beat or Far Side. I can understand someone like a
It's
Joe
first
Fox
side, I
annoying.
believe.
Okay. I can understand Joe Fox annoying someone, uh, especially since I know you like, for you personally, like you don't like the DJ screaming on the stuff like that. To me, it adds a bit more character on a song or on a project for me when you have a consistent voice in there besides the actual artist itself. Wavy Bone, to me, I love Wavy Bone, right? Because to me, it has a whole bunch of elements in there I love. Juicy J, UGK with Bumby and Pimp C, right? To me, this don't feel like an ASAP Rocky song. I felt like a
Hmm.
Juicy J song more than an ASAP Rocky song. And Juicy J gave it to ASAP Rocky, which Juicy J did produce it. He obviously got a posthumous Pimp C verse, which obviously I don't want to say it like this. When Pimp C goes over modern production and obviously is posthumous, it always don't fit right with me. Like it don't sound right on the beat, especially since you know how slower Pimp C raps, and sometimes he speeds it up. And he probably did it for this right here, but you could tell like they had to tweak his stuff to fit on a beat like this. ASAP Rocky, he played his role as well. He played his role well. Danger Mouse has production on here as well with West Side Highway. I enjoyed that song with James Fauntleroy. Better Things, cool. M's, like I said, I like the version without Lil Wayne more than the version with Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne's a legend, so I won't disrespect him too much on here. Every Day, I love Miguel on Every Day. Ooh, Miguel was doing his thing on there. And Back Home probably is one of my favorite tracks on here. But I understand B if you thought that this was boring because it is in that same sonic range, the whole album. And that's
It,
why I say to me, this is the album that he really wanted to make.
yeah,
Because Long Live, it felt like it was kind of like not all over the place, but it would have those cloudy psychedelic, not psychedelic, but cloudy moments. But then it'll have like a song like the song with Skrillex on there. And I'm just like,
hmm.
what? This is tonally like conflicting right now.
Hmm.
But go ahead, B.
No, uh, go back to the Pimp C point. I think we could overanalyze dead artists' music as well because we'd be like, we know he wasn't like physically here to like rap on this
Mhm.
beat, maybe. So
Yeah.
we can kind of be like overanalyze, like, hold up, man, it just don't never really feel right
That's
sometimes.
just me with posthumous verses in general
That's
because
what
I
I'm
know
saying.
that you got to tweak so much stuff to make it work, really,
Yeah, that's what I'm
especially
saying.
on
That's
more
why
modern
that's why I think
production.
we overanalyze it because it's like in our mind, we already know like, yo, bro, he's dead. So like I know y'all
Hmm.
done something and something don't feel right, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But another point about it being boring, it could have been the state of mind I'm in these last few days. Because I listened to this, so I listened to it, when was it? Thursday, and I was like, man, why I'm feeling this way. I played it again, and I'm like, I'm still feeling the same way. I played it this morning, but this morning I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start it in the middle, and I'm gonna play it. And I started it in the middle and played it down. I'm like, yeah, this to me is just this album. Not saying it sound completely different, but it puts me in a more downer mood, and it kind of makes me be like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know why I
So,
feel that way, but
so I can agree with you, right?
mm-hmm,
I think that's because of the production itself.
mm-hmm,
Because when I was working and I was listening to this, and I work in a fast-paced environment, right? This felt slower. Like it did pause on this, but the runtime
mm-hmm,
on this felt longer. And I was like,
mm-hmm,
I felt like it's going for a while. But when you look at the track list, I mean, the runtime, it's only 66 minutes and 9 seconds. But when you have cloudy atmospheric production like that, when you let certain things breathe on a project like that, when you have 18 tracks, pause is going to make the album feel longer.
mm-hmm.
So I do agree with what you're saying on this. But when I'm at the thing that I'm doing, I just let it play. I let it keep
Hmm.
going. There's stuff that I like. There's stuff where I'm like, all right, this is kind of like, it's kind of hanging on a little bit longer than it needs to. But I understand exactly what you're saying, B. So I can't really disagree with you on that.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
it's
this is a slower album, but to me, this is like I said, the album that I felt like he wanted to make.
yeah.
Like you get what I'm
'Cause-
saying?
yeah, this the only album by him I actually like. Yeah, it's the only
You didn't.
album.
Oh,
Testing
did
was
you like Live Love?
cool.
Did you like Live Love ASAP? The
No,
mixtape?
not like that. I like songs on there.
Did you like Long Live ASAP? The
The
album, the
album,
debut?
no, no. I only like three or
Mm,
four songs on there, maybe less than that. This the
mm.
only
So,
album that I actually like liked. Like
mm-hmm,
Testing, Testing was like people hate it, but I like some stuff on Testing.
mm-hmm.
But I don't like this the only project like I'm like I'm a fan of ASAP Rocky. Like it's like it has a lot to incorporate with more than just the music, mostly like as a what you call it as well, as a
Like a fashion
personality.
icon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it, man. I don't know. I did not expect going into this album and feeling this way because I'm so far removed from this album. I haven't listened to this album in the whole in almost maybe probably like 8 years, maybe 7 to 8 years.
I'll
But
say about 9.
when it come to ASAP, it's some songs I might come back to, but it's not an album. Even though I enjoyed this album, it's not an album I come back to. And me having this time, I think now, like, me being older now, being in a different space, I just don't think it didn't hit for me now. Because sometimes it
Mm,
could be a whole nother experience when you're so far removed from an album and you listen to so much other things and some stuff you was into as a kid or younger. Sometimes you grow out of it. It's like your music taste or like, how your what they call it, your palate when you eat, your taste
mm-hmm,
buds might change. And I think I was just like, some of it's not hitting the same. Even
mm.
some of the songs still hit that I like, but it didn't even hit like how I used to like it back in the day. I'm like, dang, this sounded way more. This was better to me, but I was like, it ain't like that no more. I don't know, bro. I was like, I'm getting old.
Don't worry, B. You've been that. But that's
Oh my
beside the
god.
point.
I'm sorry, ASAP, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I've been a huge A$AP Rocky fan since high school. Going back to this project, I'm like, dang, this this was this was a
Hmm.
really fun experience for me. Like I said, to me, this is like the spiritual successor to Live Love ASAP and that sound that he was kind of cultivating with that project right there. Obviously, you could see the influences he has with 3 6 Mafia, Bone Thugs, UGK, the
Hmm.
Houston sound itself. So I overall really enjoyed this project. This isn't the project that I go back to the most though. Like I said before, that's Long Live ASAP for me and the first 6 tracks on Live Love ASAP. But overall, man, I went back to this and I was so surprised. I don't know why I was so surprised to hear Future on Fine Wine. But like I said, I didn't look at the track list when I was listening to it at first. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't
every
like
time
that.
Future would come in,
Hearing that song again, I was like, yeah, I didn't like that song back then either.
I
You
did.
like that
But
song?
I love Future. So it's
Yeah,
like it's one of those things where it's like bias. It's biases surpass everything. It surpasses
yeah.
subjectivity and everything. Sorry, I can't be objective. But yeah, overall, I can understand your qualms with this album.
Hmm. Hmm.
For me, this feels like a project that was made by an artist, carefully curated by an artist, with the vision that he really wanted for this project. Especially
Hmm.
when I look back at this and I'm putting this up against a Long Live ASAP, which I really love that album. But you could tell that some things was for the commercial play. It was for the radio play, like a F and Problems. F
Yeah.
and Problems wouldn't fit on here. But there's some songs like Level and Hell from Long Live ASAP that could
Hmm.
fit on something like this. And that felt like it was more in the vein of what Rocky was doing with the cloud raps and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to ASAP Rocky on At Long Last ASAP.
Hmm.
I still enjoy it, but it's not my favorite project from Rocky. But I think it's his best, especially when it comes to him stepping his penmanship up, him being better rapping wise in terms of delivery and performance on this project itself as well. And the production, to me, it felt like what he was really trying to hone in on Live Love ASAP.
Hey B, I'm like, dang, I don't, and I don't used to speak highly about this album. So it
Uh-huh.
was a shock to me, and I was like, dang, I really gotta be honest. Because sometimes it's hard for me. I'm like, Man, so I could fake it, but nah, I gotta be
Nah,
honest,
B.
B.
Nah,
I
B.
don't
We know
fake the
we
funk.
don't fake it over here. You know we
Nah,
don't fake it over here. We keep it
can't fake
authentic.
it. Gotta
We don't
keep it
have to
authentic.
look, B. We don't have relationships to keep, so we can say whatever
Nah, we don't.
we can say whatever
You
we
ain't
want
gotta,
that we actually believe.
hey, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie. So I'm gonna just tell the truth.
Yeah, I feel that, B. I feel it. But yeah, let us know what y'all think about At Long Last ASAP. If y'all have heard it, if y'all have not, go listen to it and come back to this review. Let us know in the comment section down below.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture